Hi Ellie, thanks again for coming on time today.
You're welcome.
We are going to today work on a reading strategy that's going to help you continue to read through your science work, okay?
Okay.
Alright, what do thieves do?
Steal?
They do, they steal. So the strategy I am going to show you is that you're going to steal information from your textbooks and sometimes from longer articles without reading word for word every word of the chapter.
So like kind of skimming?
Kind of like skimming. Let's talk about, you know what an acronym is, correct? We've talked about acronyms before?
Yeah.
Well, let me help you. I can tell that you don't remember what an acronym is. An acronym is when every letter of a word stands for that word.
Oh yeah.
Okay?
Like ASAP.
Like ASAP stands for?
As soon as possible.
Beautifully done, honey. Okay, so we're going to talk about thieves, and I've given you this bookmark to help you, and then you can take it to school with you. And the T in thieves stands for what?
Title.
Title. What is the title? So I'm going to model for you how you would use this article about tsunamis, okay, with T. It says tsunami, natural hazards in the Pacific, fact sheet 3. So what I can gather from that is that this entire article or this entire chapter of the textbook is going to be about tsunamis and tsunamis specifically happening in the Pacific. Okay.
Well, yeah.
Question?
No.
Okay. The H is headings. So the headings I see here is what is a tsunami? Question mark. So I know that this article or this chapter in the book is going to talk about what the definition is. As I skim and scan, I see that tsunami hazards is also a heading. Okay? So when I look at that, I think, ooh, they must be really dangerous. There must be something difficult going on there. I'm going to skim, and see that tsunami warning is also one of the headings. So you're going to, I think I'm going to learn about when I can see a tsunami coming. Okay? So T-H, now we're at the I. The I stands for introduction. Is there an introduction to this chapter? Or is there an introduction to this article? And if there is, I should read that. It looks as though I see right before the first heading, although it's not labeled with introduction, there's a solid paragraph here that I believe is the introduction. So I'm going to read that carefully so that I know what this is about. The most tragic and devastating tsunami in recent history occurred on the 26th of December 2004 just off the Indonesian province of Banda Aceh. Waves up to 30 miles high battered the coastlines of Indonesia, Thailand, India, Sri Lanka, and the Maldives, leaving about 300,000 people dead or missing. Whilst destructive tsunamis such as this are relatively infrequent, tsunamis are common in the Pacific Ocean and can affect all of the Pacific Island countries. This is because the Pacific Basin is surrounded by the Ring of Fire, a series of tectonic plate boundaries associated with high earthquake and volcanic activity. So from the introduction, I get a very solid overview of what tsunamis are about. The E in thieves stands for every first sentence. We've already read the introduction, but now we're going to go to every first sentence of a paragraph, okay? What is a tsunami? A tsunami, a Japanese word meaning harbor wave, is a series of waves traveling at speeds of over 800 kilometers per hour in the deep ocean and often going unnoticed. Wow, that's a lot of information in that first sentence. We're going to go all the way down here to tsunami hazards, the first sentence. Tsunami can severely impact coastal areas, completely inundating low-lying coastal areas, destroying buildings, damaging infrastructure, flattening trees, churning up soil, and even washing away entire villages. We're going to look at this first sentence right here too that says, another danger from tsunami waves is that they bring a large volume of seawater onto the land. Wow, again, I know that tsunamis are going to be really destructive from reading all of these first sentences. The V in thieves stands for visual, okay? So I'm going to then look at all of these graphs or visuals. Wow, just up at the top I see a lot of pictures that have to do with water. So I know that this isn't just in theory, that this really does happen. Okay? I also see an illustration of a huge wave, again adding to my understanding about what tsunamis really are. Here, this graph is going to show how earthquakes underwater are affecting those waves. On this side again, I see another picture or photograph showing me, when I look really closely, that the source is from the Geographical Data Center. So clearly this has happened. Okay. End of chapter questions. That's what the E in thieves is for. Okay? End of chapter questions. So if we look at the end of this chapter, we see that there aren't questions per se, but the end of chapter is going to give you key points to remember, okay, which leads right into the S, which is summary. So a tsunami can strike any coastline in the Pacific. Warnings apply to you, if you of course live in the Pacific, right? For tsunami survival, remember the following 3 warning signs, and there they are, okay? Do you have any questions about the thieves reading strategy?
You forgot the S.
That summary, it sort of got wrapped into the end of chapter questions because there weren't any questions at the end of this chapter.
Okay, then no.
Okay. Do you think that you can remember what all of these letters stand for? Pretty difficult, huh? How about, you don't have to say yes. How about if we use the bookmark to help us remember what these stand for? Okay. So can you tell me what the T stands for if you look at your bookmark?
Title.
Good. You didn't even need to look at it, did you? What about the H?
Headings.
Correct. What about the I?
Introduction.
Good. What about the E?
And no, every first sentence.
Good. I like what you were doing there, trying to remember without looking. What does the V stand for?
Visuals and vocabulary.
Yeah. What about the E?
End of chapter questions.
And finally the S.
Summary.
Let's see. Can you remember what the T stands for?
Title.
Good. What about the H?
Heading.
Wow. Good. What about the I?
Introduction.
Now we're getting to the hard ones. The E?
Every first sentence.
Up high. That's hard. Good. What about the V?
Visuals and vocabulary.
Oh my gosh, you get the double now. All right, E?
End of chapter.
What would you look?
Questions.
Good. What would you look for at the end of the chapter? The questions and the S.
Summary.
Beautiful. Now, of course, you don't have to memorize these per se because you have your bookmark. Okay. I've modeled for you what it looks like with this article, and here I have this other article that I'd like you to use to employ the strategy. Okay? I'm going to give you a few minutes to work on that, and then I'm going to ask you to fill in this short quiz to see how well you were able to use the strategy.
Wait, so do I just like find where each thing?
Find where each thing is. Good job labeling that.
Are these headings?
Those are not. Do you know what do you think this might be? Think about how textbooks are set up left to right in columns sometimes. So this is the very end of the chapter.
Just like other or things to go, like a review kind of?
This is a review. It ends up being the summary at the end of the chapter. Okay. Oftentimes this would also be where those questions would be, those end of chapter questions.
Wait, does the every first sentence does it um apply in the introduction?
No, why doesn't it apply in the introduction? Because you've already read every sentence in the introduction.
Okay. Wait, is this a new paragraph?
Yes.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yep. You can tell by the space that they've left, right? Because it's all left aligned.
Oh my gosh, this is a big sentence.
What do we do with really long sentences?
Break them up.
Exactly.
Look at it now. And yeah.
Wow, that's almost the whole paragraph, huh?
Are these two different paragraphs?
Yes.
Why is this whole paragraph one sentence? Golly.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit. They're obviously putting very important information succinctly in this article, correct?
Yeah.
And what does succinctly mean?
I have no idea.
It means they're summarizing it in a very short way. They're being concise, succinct.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm going to quiz you on that later. You watch. Well done.
Wait,
Now,
I'm not done. Okay, I'm done.
good job. Okay, so now two more things I want to show you. Is that when we're talking about note-taking, you can use the headings, right, as your columns on the left-hand side when we use our Cornell note-taking strategy that we've worked on before, okay? And then next to that, look, you can see I went right into the text. What is a tsunami was the heading over here on my left. And my first bullet point for the note I took was Japanese
Harbor wave.
harbor wave. What would the second note be that you would take there, do you think?
Traveling at speeds of over 800 kilometers.
Exactly. And I'm going to have you fill out the rest of this sheet. I've given you one of the headings here, and you're going to have to fill out the other heading, and then take 3 bullet point notes for each one. Okay?
Mm-hmm.